Salut, I'm Simo from FrenchArena. What do you call this type of neckline in French? Or what do you call this part of a shirt in French? Well, in today's lesson, I'm going to tell you all about this aspect of clothing. On commence. Now, in today's lesson, we're going to take a look at over 150 vocabulary for clothing. Now, when you first started learning French, probably one of the first things you would have learned about French clothing were une chemise, une casquette, une jupe, une chaussure. Well, in today's lesson, we're going to go in depth into so much more about clothing. I mean, what do you call this type of neckline in French? What do you call this part of a t-shirt in French? What do you call this part in French, right? There's so many things you need to learn about clothing. Because today is such a big lesson and you might be a bit overwhelmed with the vocabulary, what I have done is I have created a perfect PDF for you. All you need to do is input your name and email address in the link below, and today's lesson will get sent directly to your inbox so that you never forget any of what you learned today. With that being said, let's get started. I have a bit of props today to use. They're my baby's own, but that's perfectly fine. I just need you to visualize that when I'm talking about each section, you can remember them. Now we're going to start off with hats in French, because if you think about it, when you look at someone, what do you notice first? You probably notice what's on their head first before you then notice probably the accessories, and probably notice their shirt or jacket. You might notice the skirts or trousers, or you may notice them wearing just a dress, and then you notice shoes, and then we're going to take a look at undergarments as well. Now there are various types of hat, right? And we're going to take a look at some of the most popular ones in French. We would say un chapeau for this one, une casquette for the next one, and un béret for another one. This one, une cagoule, it's not really a hat. However, if you look at it, you would notice that in colder countries, it's worn over their head, right? So it's not just one on the face, which is why I'm putting it under the hat section, because you wear it over your head and it's supposed to just keep you warm. So I would still say it's called a hat, or somebody might call it a hair accessory, but yeah. Let's look at another one. Un bonnet, un chapeau de cow-boy, un fedora, and chapeau melon. However, these two, you might look at them and think, okay, Sumo, they are exactly the same. They aren't. If you look at the first one, you would see that it's slightly, well, I use the word dented. Inside, it's dipped inside basically, but the other one is not quite so there are differences in the hats. Now there are definitely a lot more hats in French, but I'm hoping that these different types that I've listed out to you would at least help you, so that when you go shopping in France or any other francophone country, you're armed with enough vocabulary to tell the shop assistant this is the type of hat you want, or perhaps you want to order a hat online, you know what exactly it is to look for. Let's take a look at the next session where we'll talk about jackets or coats in French. Now, a jacket in French is called une veste, and a coat is un manteau. There are various jackets that I'm sure you've heard of. You heard of jeans jacket, you've heard of puffer jacket, denim jacket. I think that's the same as jean jacket. But we're going to look at a lot more vocabulary to help you. We have une doudoune and une veste en jean, un coupe-vent and une veste en cuir. We also have un blouson bomber. We also have un cardigan and un chandail. I used to think they were the same thing. However, what I noticed is that sweaters are like knitted garments that can either be a cardigan or a pullover sweater, while cardigans are the sweater that just opens in front. So you can button it, you can zip it up, or it can be snapped closed. However, a pullover sweater is a garment that you can pull over your head, so you do not zip it up, you do not snap it closed. All you just do is you wear it over. So that's the difference between un cardigan and un chandail. So please, you never have to make that mistake again. Une parka, un trendiest. We also have une veste de pluie, un poncho, un gilet, and un veston. And so there we have it for jackets and coats in French. Now let's move on to shirts and tops in French. Many students assume that something that relates to a woman will be feminine, but the gender of the words in French is totally random. For example, a shirt for a man is une chemise, but a shirt for a woman is un chemisier. Do you see that the first is feminine and the second is masculine? I know it may not make sense, but that's just how it is in French. This is why when you memorize a new French word, it's essential you memorize the gender with it. You cannot dissociate the two information. They go hand in hand. So it's easier for you to learn that it's called une chemise, not chemise, because you wouldn't know if it's meant to be masculine or feminine. Like I said, we're going to use props. This is my daughter's. And so what is this called? This can be called une blouse, un chemisier, and also called une tunic. It's the same thing with what I'm wearing here. If you remember in the beginning, what did I say? I asked you what is this called, which is what, a collar. And in French, it's called col, col. The next part is called baleine. Baleine. So if you see, we're taking a look at a man's shirt, and just so you can understand the different parts of the shirt. Baleine. The next part is called manche. The next one, bouton. And the next part, broderie. Broderie. And the next part, of course, even though I'm not wearing a full shirt, is called poignet. Poignet. And the next part, gorge and bas. Now the final one, if you remember, I said, do you know what this is called in French, which is a sleeve in English, and what this is called? So this part, let me use her shirt again. So this is her beautiful shirt. So this part is called l'ourlet. L'ourlet, that's the hem. I know most people are thinking, okay, why am I even going to talk about that? You never know. Probably you have to go to the tailor and you have to explain to them that they should hem it back on for you. You would need to explain to them what part you're talking about. I mean, you can just show the shirts and say this part, but I mean, it's good to know the vocabulary, right? We also have une chemise, un t-shirt, and une chemise à boutons. We have un peleu, un débardeur, and un top de nu. Un top de nu is perfect for the summer because I mean you can feel the sun rays, you might even actually get a tan, and it's just nice. Un bustier, une bralette. Now you might argue that okay, so these are meant to be in the undergarment section. That's perfectly fine. However, you do see it being worn these days with just a pair of jeans or a skirt, and they're wearing it out, so that means you can actually see it in the open. It's not worn underneath a t-shirt, it's worn in the open. So if you want to categorize these two under swimwear or under undergarments, that's fine, but I'm just educating you that some people actually just wear these out. We also have un t-shirt oversize, un sweatshirt, un sweat à capuche. We have un pull and un débardeur à fine bretelle, une camisole. Now once again, there are differences between these two. A camisole is just a camisole like you've seen. However, there are tank tops that have bigger straps. So if you take a look at this picture, you can see that they have really thin straps, hence it being called un débardeur à fine bretelle. We also have un costume, which can also be called un complet, and we have un smoking. We also have un gilet ou un veston, and I know we spoke about this under jackets and coats. However, this would be termed a vest in English, so like the extra piece in a three-piece suit. So you know, if you see this picture above, you can see the three-piece suit. What's inside will be called un gilet ou un veston, and the vest can just be called un maillet de cœur. Now we're going to take a look at more necklines. If you remember, I mentioned a particular neckline in the beginning, right? I'm going to tell you what it is. We're going to look at this type of neckline. We're going to look at, I think it's similar to mine, right? But we're going to look at her neckline. We are also going to take a look at just so many different necklines. So we have décolleté rond, décolleté en V, décolleté droit ou bustier, and what I mentioned in the beginning, décolleté cœur, which is what? A sweetheart neckline. I really love this neckline. It dips in, it's nice, it makes your shoulders look beautiful. I love this neckline. We have décolleté col batteux, décolleté carré, décolleté avec bretelle, décolleté illusion, décolleté collier, décolleté avec col, décolleté plongeon, and the final one, décolleté asymétrique. So you see, you definitely need to know the different necklines, because if you go into a shop and you say you want a shirt with this, or you're doing this, or the shop assistant might not understand what you mean, but when you have this certain vocabulary armed, you can say, oh my goodness, this is the perfect neckline that I want, and he or she can help you in getting what you desire. Now let's move on to dresses. A dress in French is simply called une robe. Une robe. We have different types of dresses. We have the mini, the midi, the ball gown, the sundress, the maxi, and I'm going to tell you all about them. We have une robe longue, une robe courte, une robe maxi. And yes, the long dress and the maxi dress are different. I know you might think, okay, Sumo, there's a long dress, it's still long, and there's maxi, but they are different in French, okay? It's good to just learn whichever one. Now, maxi dresses normally reach like ankle length, and long dresses might also be known as ball gowns, maximum length dresses. I know, there's a difference. Long dresses have floor length hemlines and are styled in casual to formal designs. Depending on the event, your long dress might be a form-fitting dress with a short or long train, a classic A-line dress with a fitted bodice, or full ball gown with tulle and lace. While maxi dresses rest at the ankle, they are also known as T-length dresses or full-length dresses. And you can just wear them to family celebrations, barbecues, or vacation. Une robe semi-formelle, une robe de cocktail, une robe de soirée, une robe d'été, une robe mi-longue, une robe décolletée, un tailleur, une robe de soir, and the final one, une robe de mariée. I was also considering talking more about wedding gowns in this clothing vocabulary video. However, I knew that the video would be too long because wedding gowns on its own is a different topic. We have the ball gown style, the mermaid, the sheath, shorts, separate jumpsuits, and then don't even get me started on the different materials that you would use. However, if you would like me to do a video talking about different types of wedding gowns, possibly the different necklines, the different materials, different lengths, the types for the perfect body style, because we know that we have different body shapes, just let me know in the comment section below if you would like that. All you need to type is yes sumo do videos on wedding gowns and you will get just that. Now the next section is pants, right? This is so cute and tiny. I mean, they even have these designs. I wonder if I would wear something like this if as an adult, if I would wear pants that have these kind of ruffles. But anyways, the next section is on pants. Pants or trousers in French is simply called un pantalon. Un pantalon. You know, we have various types. We have the shorts, we have the long pants, the short pants, the capri pants. Don't worry, I'm going to teach you all of them. We have un pantalon de survêtement, un pantalon de costume ou un pantalon de tailleur, and these are just suit pants. So I know that we looked at suits, but I know that some people just actually wear just the suit pants, or they want to go in and talk to a tailor to probably hem the suit pants for them properly. If you want to just specify, these are what suit pants are called. We have un short, un bermuda. We also have un pantacourt and un capri. However, these two, I sometimes make a mistake with them. I'm not quite sure. So you can also tell me in the comment section below if they are the same, because I think both of them are actually called either crop pants or capri pants. However, because capri pants are mid-calf length, but just in case it's a mistake, please let me know in the comment section below. I do not mind learning at all. We also have un pantalon cargo, un jean, un pantalon de jogging, un pantalon de yoga. We also have un legging, which is kind of like the same pronunciation we would have in English, right? We have un pantalon décontracté, un pantalon slim, un pantalon skinny, un pantalon patte d'éléphant. The first time I heard this, I was like, why are you talking about one elephant's leg? Like, what does that even mean? Like an elephant's, but any which way. And the final one, un pantalon en toile. Now we're going to take a look at French pants cuts. So like, I know that there are different cuts we have for pants or trousers. We're going to just take a look at a few of them quickly. We have un pantalon cigarette, un pantalon large, and un pantalon à pince. So there you have it, all about pants or trousers in the French language. The next section is skirts. We're going to take a look at different types of skirts in French. And like I said in the beginning, because this is quite an advanced vocabulary on clothes in the French language, in order for you not to forget everything you have learned today, put your name and email address in the link below so that you can have it forever and you can always refresh and go through it. Now, a skirt in French is simply called une jupe. Une jupe. We have une jupe longue, une jupe courte, et une mini jupe. We also have une jupe plissée, une jupe trapèze, and the final one, une jupe taillante. Doing this video has really taught me how much I actually love different pieces of clothing. So like, I can imagine a very nice skirt, probably a pleated skirt with is probably below my knees, with nice boots and a really nice shirt. It just goes together. And yeah, nice video. Now the next section is on shoes. These are so cute. But we're going to take a look at shoes and boots in the French language. No style will be complete without an awesome pair of shoes, right? Let's get started with the first one. What is a shoe called in French? The French word for shoe is une chaussure. It's feminine and it's usually used in the plural des chaussures, des baskets, des tennis, des mocassins, des derbies, or it can also be called des Richelieu, des chaussures de cyclisme. We also have des sandales, des tongs, or you can also call either of these des nu-pieds. And this just literally means naked foot. But if you look at it, your toes are really showing, right? So hence the name naked foot. So if you do not want to say des sandales or des tongs, you can also use des nu-pieds. Also have des espadrilles, and I remember the very first time I got this type of shoe, I genuinely loved them. I think I wore them to stupor. I don't even know where they are, or where they went to, or if I misplaced them or whatever, but I really loved this specific type of shoe. I have des ballerines, des chaussures plates, des chaussures à talons, des chaussures à plateforme, des escarpins, des talons compensés, des chaussures habillées, des talons aiguilles, des chaussons, or it can also be called pantoufles, and des chaussures Oxford. Now we're going to go to boots. Yeah, I don't have a boots to show you for her because, but anyway, we're going to look at boots right now. French word for boot is une botte. It's feminine and it's usually used in the plural form where we say des bottes. We have des bottes en cuir, des bottes à talons, des bottines. We also have des sentiègues, des bottes de pluie. We also have des bottes en caoutchouc, des chaussures de randonnée. And the final one, bottes de neige, or I've also heard it being called après-ski. I don't know why it's called that, but yeah, it's also called that. And so we have come to the end of shoes and boots. However, I'm just going to talk about a little bit like the material that we use on some shoes, or even the sole that is this part of it. Like when I say material, I mean that what is this made of? Like this is a beautiful shoe, by the way. What is this? What is this on top of it? They're called laces in English, but what are they called in French? So we'll use this as an example. So we can have en cuir, and this is just made of leather. En dents, which is made of suede, or en synthétique. Or we can even say, I think cloth is en toile. Some might say it's canvas, but I would say cloth is en toile. Now, what are these called? These are beautiful laces. I think they say tied in a ribbon. But this, oh, what is this called in French? Laces are just called des lacets, and the sole is called une semelle. There we have it. You know all about shoes and boots in French, and also what the sole is called, what the laces are called. What's the next section? We're going to talk about sleepwear in French. So for sleepwear, we have pajamas. First of all, we would call it un pyjama. I love PJs, by the way. Un pyjama. The next is un chemise de nuit. And you can also have un peignoir. Final one for house coats or dressing gown, you can say une robe de chambre. Une robe de chambre. Now let's go into the undergarments. If you notice, we've done the hats, the jackets, the coats, the dresses, le pantalon, we've done the shirts, right? We've done the shoes, we've done the trousers, right? We've done all those. We're going to look at underwear because that's what you wear, and I really hope people do wear underwear under. But any which way, we're going to take a look at French underwear for men specifically. Then we're going to take a look at French underwear for women. And so we just have un slip, un caleçon, and the final one, un boxer. Now we're going to take a look at slimwear and sleeps in French. The first is une gaine. Une gaine. Now the French usually specify which part they would like slim. So for example, une culotte gainante, which is like a slimming panty. So it's a slimming panty, or somebody call it a sheathing panty, that's different. Or un body gainant, which is a slimming bodysuit. We also have un jupon and une combinaison. Now, how do you say women's knickers or panties in French? Une culotte. Une culotte. This is the generic term for panties or knickers or whatever it is a woman is wearing underneath. Different types of panties are un hipster, un boxer, or it can also be called un shorty. We also have un tanga, and the final one, un string. Now let's go to bras. What is a bra called? Un soutien-gorge. Un soutien-gorge. This may be the weirdest of all, since it literally translates to hold the throat. Now in older French, la gorge referred to both neck and chest area. And older bras were a real contraption, often starting at the neck. So yeah, there's probably a reason why it's called that, hold the throat. The first one is une brassière, which is just called a sports bra. But however, you have to be careful, because in France, this word is mostly used for a baby's clothing. Some kind of shirt that clothes in the back. Sports bra, we mainly say un soutien-gorge de sport. The padded bra, we have tons of those. It's called un soutien-gorge rembourré. Or if you're talking about a bandeau bras, it's called un soutien-gorge bandeau. Now we also have un ampliforme, un soutien-gorge corbeille, and un bonnet A, B, C, D, E. So this is really helpful when you're shopping in a French shop and you're trying to figure out what cup exactly it is you are. You want to say you want to buy a bra with straps or strapless, you would say avec bretelles. But if you want one without straps, you would say sans bretelles. Now, if you wanted one with wires, because there are bras without wires and you actually want the one with wire, you would say les amateurs. We also have une guêpière, and this is really just a teddy, but it can also be called a corset in the USA. Un porte-jartel and une jarretelle. Watch out with this one. Dictionaries or Google Translate will translate this for you to suspenders by saying des jarretelles, when most people were actually looking for des bretelles in French, which are actually suspenders. So please be very careful for this one, so you don't mistakenly ask for suspenders instead of a garter, or mistakenly ask for a garter instead of suspenders. We also have une nuisette and un déshabillé. So there you have it, all of the undergarments for both male and female. Now the final section is on legwear. So what do we wear on our feet? Now socks are called une chaussette. So just this beautiful sock is une chaussette. It can also be called une soquette. Why? Because it's an ankle socks. I think this reaches actually above her ankle, but if someone like an adult were to wear something so small, you would call it an ankle sock. So une soquette. We also have en bas, décollant, and for pantyhose, it's sometimes also called débat. So there we have it. We have looked at over 150 clothing vocabulary in French. Like I said, do not forget to download the free PDF where I actually even give you more types of clothing. So I talk about swimsuits, I talk about accessories, I also talk about different types of materials to look out for. So probably you want to buy something in silk and cuts, ensure you put your name and email address in the description box below, where you will get today's free PDF lesson sent directly to your inbox. Now, if you're someone who wants to learn even more about clothing in the French language, watch my next video where I'll cover 25 clothes-related idioms. Imagine learning how to say it fits like a glove or to tighten one's belt in the French language. I promise you, these idioms will not only elevate your vocabulary, but it would also make you sound much more fun when talking to the shopping assistant you have with you in the shop, or when talking to even a friend and you're detailing what happened with your experience whilst shopping. You can also check out my website www.FrenchArena.com for more of my free PDF lessons, or to learn more about my courses and discounts that I might currently have. Until I see you in the next video, bonne journée!